I need to gather the
YouTube link
and put it in the Copywriting Miracle group. Let's see if this works. Okay. All right, so it should be going live right now.
Oh,
where is
you got loud, really loud for a second.
Where is the link? Is it this? Sure. Copy that. Boom.
What'd you do?
Seeing if this makes us go live in the group. Let's find out. Live on YouTube for some self-promotion talk. Let's see what happens. All right. There we go.
Okay.
So let me share my screen and let us get into course. Okay.
All right. Technical difficulties solved.
And sure. If I can turn back time. All right. Live. Okay.
Hey, we got 2 people in the Zoom call. Do you want to let them be able to talk if they have questions?
You can monitor that if you want.
All right. How do I do that?
Excuse me. Self-promotion is a big deal for copywriters, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Why? We all want business. We all want work. We all want to live the entrepreneurial lifestyle that comes with being an effective copywriter, yes?
Mm-hmm.
But we don't get there by chasing the buck. We get there by putting out better work, more effective work than other copywriters. Yes? Mm-hmm. That means that we focus on hyper connecting with the people that we want to help and do it better than everybody else. If we can achieve that in our marketing, then people pay attention. There is a former wrestling personality, executive producer, executive vice president named Eric Bischoff. He wrote a book called Controversy Creates Cash. And I say it in a different way. I just say make noise. If you are going to put yourself out there, make noise, be heard, be seen, be recognized. Because if you don't do that, don't complain about what you don't have. But to make noise, you have to know more than everybody else in the room. You have to be able to articulate and connect in ways that other copywriters aren't. You are a brand, Brandon. You are a brand, and every day you need to invest time equity into your business, sweat equity into your business, because that equity comes back. That equity keeps paying you with results, with new clients, with back-end deals, with passive income. So one of the things that I'm doing as a copywriter is putting myself out there with my heuristic style. And I'm making noise in saying that this style converts. Now, it's not a formula. Formulas suck. Somebody sent me a job posting from Copy Chief, Kevin Rogers thing. And I looked at it, and one of the prerequisites is that you are able to utilize this specific formula of copywriting. And the moment I saw that, I was just like, not even remotely interested. Because if I have to follow a formula and I'm not able to do what I know works, then I'm not going to take that money. I'm not going to have that conversation. I'm not going to do it because I need creative control. I need to do what I know works. in every space across the board. That's why I teach heuristic copywriting, because this system meets us at the archetypal core, new cause, of who we really are. And when we can connect with people's stories instead of just emotion, because it's stories that trigger emotion, it's the association, the symbols, the stories that trigger the emotion. When we're able to connect on that level, mountains are moved, money's made, clients are happy, passive income is coming in, you're living that entrepreneurial life. But it always comes down to, just like if you're going to go on a diet, organization and preparation, and being excited about what you're doing, about what you're creating. Now, yesterday, I created this, actually, my girlfriend, Alia, made this website. And this is just one-on-one coaching. Now, you guys have taken copy coaching with me, and that's very different than what I'm doing here. This is just collaborative coaching. This is just like what we do, writing on the fly. You take it and go. This is helping copywriters and entrepreneurs that want to write their own copy go in an effective way, move in an effective direction with their copy, right? So this is another example of how you can put yourself out there. Now, is this going to make me rich? No, not at all. Is it a lot of fun? Yeah, it is. And every time I get the right, personally, selfishly speaking, on different people's stuff, I'm always able to exercise my ideas and see them in action and collect more data. I'm a data fucking slut. I want as much of it as I can possibly get. Because the more data I get, the more I'm able to constantly refine my system, this heuristic system, because it is a system. It's not a formula. You can arrange it as the creative mastermind any way you want, which is why I have these organization tabs open for what you guys have done. So self-promotion isn't just promoting your services. I have multiple services. I have one $97 offer. I have a $97 offer. I have a $497 offer. Low hanging fruit, low ticket, just get things moving type stuff. Now, what's interesting is when business owners hit me up for this, what do you think inevitably happens 7 out of 10 times? When I'm helping them, collaborating, coaching them on writing their copy.
Yeah, well, you demonstrate your authority and they're like, can you just do this for me?
Exactly. And then the bigger contracts come in.
Yeah.
What is your blueprint, your marketing blueprint? What is your marketing vision? There's so many ways to frame services and put them out there, yeah? Do you think that this is an effective way to frame? I'm putting myself out there in new ways. I keep demonstrating authority, credibility, and being able to practice what I preach. Yeah.
So another way of doing this is going on podcasts, giving talks about your expertise in front of people.
Which honestly, I've never really attempted to do. Every once in a while, somebody hits me up, and if I feel like it, I'll do it. But otherwise, no. There's not much out there. Lots of copywriters pursue media, getting interviewing, creating their own podcasts, and we built a podcast because that is relevant. But
then you can post a picture of yourself on stage on your website, and it's okay.
Yeah, so I can do 5 to 8 of these a month. And so let's just say like $8,000 a month. It's fun, it's supplemental income, and 7 out of 10 times when working with business owners, it leads to larger contracts. When I work with copywriters, they want more mentoring. They sign up for larger packages. You don't always just go from A to Z in your self-promotion. Sometimes you go A, B, C, D, E, F, Z, right? You take them through a journey. What's your flow? What's your marketing flow? Just like if you're helping entrepreneurs create their funnels and their campaigns, what's your vision for it? If that's what you're paid to do, then demonstrate doing it for yourself. If you're not demonstrating doing it for yourself, how the fuck are people supposed to take acknowledgement of you? Answer that question. That's a sincere question.
If you're not demonstrating it yourself, how can people trust that you'll do it for them?
If you're not making noise and demonstrating your extreme knowledge about digital marketing, about advertising, about copywriting, then why would anybody hire you? What's out there to base any discernment on?
Because when, like you said, who's that guy, that probiotic you recently got hired for? They were looking at 40 other copywriters, and they were looking at all their different stuff, their online presence, what they've done. I mean, clients, they really dig deep into the research when they're serious ones, the ones you want to work with. They pick carefully who they work with, the copywriter. Is that correct?
Correct. And I had a conversation with those people last night.
Yeah.
And they hired they're testing a few other copywriters against each other.
Okay. Oh,
which is great. I love it. I'm going to whoop their ass. Now, the product itself is not amazing. It's not like, holy shit, this is the best thing ever. It's a good, solid probiotic.
It's nothing revolutionary, but it does its job well.
And they got some good testimonials. Real ones. So, it's easy to write. And the back end is obviously where it's at.
Well, they're testing all these copywriters against each other. They got money to pay them what they're worth, or are these a bunch of... Last time I got offered that, he's like, I'll pay you $1,000.
Apparently, they paid Doberman Dan $30,000.
Oh, yeah.
So they have a budget.
Yeah.
And as the entrepreneur who works with one of the top supplement companies in the world, my doctor suggests, I'm creating a partnership with them.
Right.
So that they can include silver in their funnel. And they have the investment to white label the silver solution.
Yeah, I guess you got to have a decent chunk of money to make that happen. So
yeah, that's going to be about $250,000 investment. Because they have to purchase the stock up front and then have in their drop shipping facility.
You getting a referral bonus from MDS for that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Not by asking. I didn't even.
Fucking, I don't think you'd have to. Like, that's pretty good.
I forgot the number Doug gave me, but whatever. So self-promotion obviously is so much more than just putting up a post in a job board, or you know what. If I look at job posts, I honestly, and this is not to be mean, I laugh the majority of the time, because if I look at that copywriter and I look at their Facebook page and I see a lot of money chasing, and high ticket entrepreneurs don't want to work with people like that. They don't want to work with people chasing the buck because they're not stable. And unstable people, if they're unstable financially, why? If they're so good, why? If you're so good, why are you so broke?
Or they don't even see anything at all.
So if you have a track record on your social media presence of posting a lot looking for work but not demonstrating your authority, you're just turning yourself over. You think you're getting the low-hanging fruit, but what you're really doing is pushing that low-hanging fruit away.
And just as bad as crickets, where there's just no history, barely any posting, or it's all just little jokes. Not really.
So Brandon here is working on an outline for Copywriting Miracle to actually promote this product, which we haven't done And just like I was saying about diet, preparation and organization is huge. If you don't prepare and organize, you're going to go off your diet.
Yeah. And I've never been as good as this as I should be. So now I'm cracking down on it.
Organize with your elements and use the system, work the system. Let me ask you a question. If I'm writing a big time Hollywood script for the next big summer blockbuster, am I just going to write down with no ideas in my head and just like fade in and just start writing the next big summer movie? Or am I going to organize those ideas? Am I going to have those scenes in my mind? Am I going to be able to piece them together and understand the unfolding?
You're going to have a storyboard.
Understanding about who these characters are, what their whys are, what their voices are, what makes them distinct, what makes them amazing, what makes them able to create an emotional impact. What story is that? How can I get people to identify with that story and see themselves in it so they suspend their disbelief? I have to organize all of that before I can ever put something out, whether it's a Facebook post, writing for a website, VSL. I have to do the work before the work. So organization, without organization, you don't have a vision. You're not an architect blueprinting anything.
You're just flying by the seat of your pants.
Yeah. You're just grabbing at something. You don't know what.
And if you don't do this, then you'll never write as fast as you possibly can.
You won't write with any speed or efficiency or any clarity because everything will be muddled with confusion. If you don't know what elements you're using and what makes those elements effective in the congruent conversation that you're having, you are fucking yourself. And if you're writing copy for a client, you're fucking over that client. This is an agency. We are creating a copywriting agency. Talk about the copywriting agency, Mike.
Can't hear you.
I am on mute. Sorry, the question was, I've been running in and out, but the agency. Yeah, specifically what we're doing now, or?
Yes. And your process of organizing. So you guys interviewed me. Just talk about the process a little bit.
Well, we all knew what was happening, but the idea that we're three people with different stories, but we understand the value that working together as an agency, collaborating, those types of things will provide for us all, and how the industry is going that way too. Certainly from my point of view, I don't have the detailed tapestry of knowledge that you have, Mark. So in order to be able to write an effective pitch for this, first of all, it was necessary to speak to you, see what your thoughts were, get that extra layer of detail. So yeah, we had an interview, went back through that, tried to pick out the main nuggets of information or ideas that were going to help us to distinguish ourselves in the market, what our kind of plan of attack was, what our USP was on this. And then we got together, and myself and Brandon were trying to figure out how we could kind of get the momentum going on this. So we decided that to work on a few lead angles, but to come up with a structure, get all the elements in place, build a skeleton narrative for the agency. And then we all met up yesterday to try and decide if that was the right story for the agency, if we'd missed anything, and got halfway there, but we still need to kind of consolidate a bit. But the story's coming together, it's taking shape, and that's because we planned, done a lot of planning and thinking.
And that planning and thinking is preparing us to be successful. We're not just throwing anything out there. We're being extremely deliberate with our positioning, with our new cause, how we're entering the conversation, with the mechanism. Do you want to scale your campaigns in 2020 and claim a huge chunk of market share? Your market share. What if there was a way to particularly scale your next campaign on cold traffic, no matter what your niche advertising budget or product offering? Would you want to know how? Because if so, this might be the most important letter. So our new cause here is I've watched as a digital marketing, as digital agency model rose up in the ranks of advertising, asking myself, why are more entrepreneurs feeling confident in going with these digital marketing agencies rather than proven freelancers? So in late 2019, I accepted a head of copywriting position at one of these top digital agencies. The place was a mess, and that's putting it lightly. Clients were procured by the gallivanting owner, a guy who projects the facade of success. He ropes clients into the agency by hyping up his copywriters and creative team. But when it actually came down to writing copy for the clients, there was zero leadership. It was just get something out and do it as quickly as possible. And that is the reality that business owners are dealing with. And we have to empathize with where they're at, because the people making the most noise right now are who?
Agency owners.
Agency owners. The copywriters right now that are making noise are doing it through the medium of teaching, like a Stefan Georgi and Justin Goff.
Yeah.
But in terms of being able to affect the industry, what we're doing right here is far more impactful. Why?
Because, well, we're basically changing the paradigm of how agencies are run. Right now, in a lot of these agencies, copywriters are kind of just they're getting whipped in the back. And what?
Odds in the wheel, just worker bees.
Yep. When really they're...
The copywriting was value added to sell clients on using their agency. This is back in the day.
Don Draper
went out of the way to hire the very, very, very top copywriters to represent them. Agencies knew it was the copywriter who sold clients on the work, so they would win the business. If you watch Mad Men, Don Draper is a coveted copywriter because of the business that he can bring in, because of the results he's had.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So that makes him, McCann Erickson wanted him big time. They had a hard on. They wanted him on Coca-Cola. They wanted him on Chevy. They wanted him on these big deals because he's Don fucking Draper. And that's what made the agency, Sterling Cooper, successful, was his name value that it brought to the agency. Not, oh, we're a big agency and you should give us your work and one of our copywriters will work on it. That's how it's represented and presented and showcased and promoted now. And that is the exact opposite of how the creative food chain actually works.
Mm-hmm. And another thing going into this is how agencies, many of them, at least the ones Mark has watched and even worked in, they don't try to get maximum money in minimum time for their clients. They want to keep them on retainer. Whereas the agency we're suggesting is it's the majority of our money is made through partnership, through back end. Sure, there's an upfront payment, but then get as much going as humanly possible, as fast as possible. That way everybody wins.
So what are the top ways to self-promote? Demonstrate authority. Now, demonstrate authority. What does that mean?
Well,
it means going on Facebook live. Hey, Mark Pachetti here. Do you know why, as a business owner, you struggle making profits that last a long time, that build your brand, where CPAs keep coming down and cart values keep going up over the course of 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, and that you actually become the heuristic, the associated solution with the problem that your brand, your product, your offer solves? It takes owning a market and being the authority in your market and demonstrating that authority to the customers and the clients that you want to help, the lives that you want to impact. That is so important as an entrepreneur, to keep your eye on that ball, because the more people you help, the more money you make, right? But how do you want to help them? How do you want to build your business? You have to constantly refresh your content. You have to constantly refresh what's winning, what's working, and build on it, because businesses are not static, they're dynamic, and you have to evolve them. You don't just get to say, okay, it's done now. People just keep coming for years and years and years. Every day has to be about how can I put effective energy into building my business for the long term so that I am the associated heuristic symbol for what I solve. How do I do that? Right? So every day we're putting up valuable videos, posts, content that allow people to see us demonstrate authority. What's another tool for self-promotion? That's about providing value.
Demonstrating authority. Man, I feel like that covers so much.
Communicate that you have a proven winning system. My heuristic style that I personally developed over the course of the last 30 years, actually, since I was 10 years old, it's the culmination of heuristic psychology, the perhaps most relevant psychology on this planet, because it's a universal language, the universal language of storytelling. We all speak in the language of story. It doesn't matter where you're from, what color you are, what religion you do or do not correspond to or resonate with, whether you're spiritual, agnostic, it doesn't matter. We all speak in the language of story. The very first Facebook post was actually on a wall in a cave. Not the Facebook wall, but a real wall. We've been telling stories of how we communicated legacy and history and culture. It wasn't written. First, it was story. So we all communicate in story. And when you know how to connect with the very specific stories people are telling about the problem you can help them solve or satisfy, we all win.
So this is about branding yourself. And I mean, one question I had is, how do we come up with our own system? We learn, we integrate into ourselves what Copywriting Miracle teaches. But then after that, well, I guess in my mind, I don't want to just fucking copy you, even though what you do is extremely effective. It's like, how do I make it my own without being the same, even though it is
based and that's on the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so. Steve Austin, professional wrestler. He was brought into the WWF as the $1 Million Man's ringmaster. They tried to make him somebody he wasn't, until King of the Ring, and he went against Jake the Snake Roberts. And Jake the Snake Roberts was doing a Bible-thumping Christian gimmick. And Austin said, Austin 3:16 means I just whooped your ass. And then he became Stone Cold, right? He really embodied the Stone Cold character. Now, people who tried to be Stone Cold Steve Austin after Stone Cold Steve Austin, they didn't make it. Well, unless you count Bill Goldberg. But they didn't make it because they aren't Steve Austin. There was one Steve Austin, and that was Steve Williams, the person behind Steve Austin, turning the volume up on his natural personality and becoming the Texas Rattlesnake. You, Brandon, are your own person. You, Mike, are your own person. You have your own legacy. You have your own history. You have your own why for being in this business. Demonstrate that in a brand. It's not about niching to health and supplements and self-development and dating and pickup and expat and finance and, whatever. It's not about niching. It's about branding. It's about utilizing your personality, utilizing your authority and your proven winning system in a brand that communicates a high level, high ticket, high value proposition message. And one that inspires them to delve deeper, to look into you, to self-qualify themselves as your client. The last 2 clients I've closed self-qualified themselves, and I did not have to sell them. All they did was look back at one of them YouTube, one of them my Facebook page, Mark Brachetti, copywriter.
Mm.
All right, what's another self-promotion tool? So what other low-end offers can copywriters create in order to promote themselves while also supplementing their income? Well, I've already demonstrated some of them. Copy critiques. If you get somebody in for a 97, 197, 497 copy critique, they're likely going to hire you to actually write the copy. What's another thing that a copywriter can do? What about branding? How can you isolate branding and create traffic out of it? Maybe create an ebook, a lead magnet.
Well, what do you mean it's not about niching? It's about branding. I mean, are you not?
It's not about, I have to specialize in health and only health. It's about branding your copywriting
System solution.
Right. Just like you would write for anybody that you're working for as a client or partner. You're going to hone in on that voice, that brand voice. Yes. I mean, if you don't, then you suck.
Well,
But
I guess
voice.
Well, if you're just starting out, would you say that you want to focus on getting good in one niche? Like you gotta, there's with health alone, there's a shit ton to read.
If I can write for anything, and I've proven it, I've demonstrated it, and I made money in writing for such stuff that I would, like those, back in the day, back in the beginning of my career, $1 million underground luxury bunkers sold to Republican preppers. Really? It worked. Why? Because I was already understanding that people were telling stories, and those are the things that I needed to connect with, not just try to sell them hypey copy and make big claims.
Well, what you say, I mean, once you have the fundamentals, the system, you can sell anything, and then maybe you'll gravitate towards certain things, but still you want to be known for how effective you are as a copywriter as opposed for, you focus on health. Okay. How about like local? I mean, I don't know how many other people in the group are near big cities, but I'm still right next to New York City. Would you have any ideas for that?
Say that again.
Local networking. Like I'm near New York City.
In a minute, hold on.
Yeah.
So this is another one. Create your own products beyond your copywriting services. Copywriting Miracle, while it's in the copywriting or marketing, digital marketing niche space, is not selling services, right? So right now, you're writing the copy. You're working on organizing the copy to self-promote Copywriting Miracle. I raised the price to $97. If we made 10 sales a day at, let's just round it off to $100, how much money are we making a month?
With 10 sales a day at $97, what's the ad cost?
What's the gross?
I missed the beginning of. Did you mention the ad cost?
$100 a sale, 10
Yeah.
sales a day. How much is that a month? Basic math.
30,000.
So let's say 10,000 of that is advertising costs.
20,000.
So if you are a good copywriter, why aren't you creating your own products and putting them out there? Why do you think most copywriters don't? Can I answer that question? Because they still have the employee mentality, not the entrepreneurial one.
So Mohit is in the fucking chat's fucked up with this for some reason, but he says case studies as a way to self-promote.
Absolutely. You can do video case studies where you're breaking down and deconstructing a proven control.
Mm-hmm.
Do it with your own copy. Another person's copy, doesn't matter. All you're doing is going through and demonstrating your opinions about why it works, and that can definitely,
Also, it doesn't even have to be your own. It could be someone else's. Just go through. This is why it's.
But that is going into this becoming an influencer.
Mm.
So what is the correlation with that?
The correlation between case studies and becoming an influencer. Mm-hmm. It's just that you're putting your ideas out there. You're not just. I don't know. I'm drawing a blank. I know we've spoken about this before, about talking about trends and where things are going. Like with you, you're aware of the agency trend, where it's been going. And also with compliance, we've talked about that, how things are becoming more and more strict. And then you put these ideas out there, and then people see you as you say, an influencer. Mm-hmm. I've always struggled with that.
So things like case studies are definitely effective. But, you can also make money doing it with critiques. Instead of doing them free to get business, you can charge for critiques and, supplement your income, and then you can use those as promotional tools. Right? There's a lot of ways to make money. You don't have to always do things for free, but, like back in the day, I got a lot of business from like posting in the Warrior Forum, copywriting forum.
Yeah.
Just putting up random posts or responding to people. And it was the lurkers who hired me, not the people that were participating.
Right.
So that's what that means. Right?
I mean, it's really content, essentially.
Ryan Dice's group just from putting up posts about digital marketing.
How is that group quality wise? Has it fallen like Cult of Copy?
Yeah.
I guess that's changed big time as well since when you first started.
So networking, attending marketing events, what's other forms of networking?
Working with other copywriters. Like, is local marketing a part of that? Mm-hmm.
So things like that. What's something else? What are other ways that copywriters can promote themselves? A lot of, it's like I was looking yesterday, a copywriter says, follow my system, you'll get 20, 30 qualified leads every month. Big claim. Is it happening? No. So, that's the kind of stuff that's out there that copywriters are falling for. Even, it's like Stephen Georgi and Justin Goff. They claim to make big time copywriters, but like one of them, I already made more money than they made him.
Well, you talk about Smith, that fucking guy who you partnered with.
That's not his name, but yeah, so a lot of copywriters are out there claiming big things that aren't true or are very misleading. And copywriters are paying big for this, when the reality is you have to do the grunt work. You have to build your business. It's just this number one right here, that goes into what I say till I'm smurf blue in the face. You have to know more than everybody else in the room. Same with this here. It's not about niching. It's about knowing more than everybody else in the room. So if you're going to write for something, know about it. Yesterday when I was on the call talking about the gut with the probiotic people, they had zero input because I ran it. I made sure that I covered everything so that I left virtually nothing for them to cover. So it was an easy call.
You have that call recorded too?
I do. I can put it in the group.
Yeah.
So what's another way? It's you have your social media presence, website presence. Now, websites are somewhat passé. If I look at my analytics for getting work, the majority of my clients don't come from my website. And I've had many iterations of websites over the years. One thing that I'm guilty of is not having a blog presence. And that's just another way to do number one, demonstrate your authority.
Right.
Also a way to get SEO presence. And you're also building your track record, right? It gives you a place to communicate your winning system. It gives you an opportunity to talk about what you know more than everybody else in the room about. It gives you the opportunity to present different offers. It gives you the opportunity to sell your different offers that beyond copy services. It gives you an opportunity to send people if they want to follow up on your influencer status. It gives you a place to send people when you're networking. What's one more?
Referrals.
Referrals are probably the number one way most people are going to get business. Certainly. Well, I get a lot.
Easiest way, but
I get a lot from cold too. Yeah, definitely. Referrals are huge. Now, that's a part of networking. So, what's another way to get referrals?
Doing a really good job.
Demonstrating your authority and providing value, going to number one.
Getting results.
It just loops right back around. Now, here's something I'm guilty of. I could take screenshots of or video of people, giving me a natural testimonial and do that. I need to do that more because I've never done it in my career. I've gotten by without really providing any testimonials. It's just all based on reputation.
Yeah. Well, they see all your content and they're like, this guy knows what the fuck he's talking about.
Yeah. So there's so many different ways to promote yourself. How many copywriters that need work do you think do the work to get the work?
What they consider the work is probably posting and Cult of Copy, and writing up little mini proposals to these people who are like looking for a few copywriters / content writers with projects, requirements, fluent English, ability to follow briefs, reliable communication, don't suck at writing, winky face. And then
Now,
they send the proposal.
one of the things that I am doing right now with you guys is sharing a vision for our agency.
Yeah.
And it's also an opportunity because you've gone through my heuristic system and now we can all make money together. And that's valuable. So we're always building relationships. And relationships are huge in self-promotion. Yeah.
Mm.
Anything else you guys want to add to this conversation?
Any specific tactics for local marketing or?
Yeah. Paid advertising. It's not that expensive. I mean, even if you have $100 budget, work that budget and put valuable video and copy content out so that you get people to pick up the phone. Now, if you're sending them just to a website or, you know, to learn more about your copy services, you might get frustrated. So again, what low-hanging fruit can you put in front of them so that they pick up the phone or reach out to you on email or whatever and get the conversation going, get the momentum going?
Mohit has a question or a suggestion. How about cold emails? Or how about direct mail as well?
I've done that. In fact, LinkedIn, I pay for direct mail via LinkedIn, paid ads, paid emails. And
right. In mails.
I've got results with that. I've also partnered up with people who have large lists and created products with them and sold them on their lists. So, you know, that's another thing that, you know, another way to make money. And then with it.
Could you put LinkedIn, in mail, cold emails, and direct mail on that document? Yeah, I'd like to experiment with direct mail a little more. There's some specific companies that I've been looking at that they seem like they have a good product that's interesting.
Mm-hmm. So let's go ahead and end it there. I appreciate you guys joining me and participating. What do you think is the summarizing kind of comment here? What do copywriters need to be doing? What do you guys need to be doing in order to have that $30,000, $50,000 a month income?
I guess there's a lot of different stuff that we need to be doing, and I know the copywriters need to be doing, but most people aren't doing it.
On that list, both of you, how many of those 11 things are you guys doing?
Maybe
not enough. I mean, gearing up to do them, yeah, but I still need to take that step, which is a different matter. Yeah. Don't
overthink it.
No. I was going to ask before, I don't know if you stopped the recording already, but especially when you're starting out, how do you strike that balance, or how have you struck that balance between obviously providing value and making people aware of what you do so they actually want to further that relationship, but not making it overly salesy, overly promotional?
Take people on a journey. Start from where you are and take them on that journey of your career.
Okay, so it's, yeah.
The real things that you're thinking about and talking about, talk about them with your prospects. Have
so early on, you'd be just beginning that journey. You wouldn't be taking them to the point where, like, there could be a working relationship.
And you have the ability to fulfill the work. So you're confident. You want to be charismatic. You want to be vulnerable and open. Those are your biggest selling assets. But you have to constantly demonstrate your authority. And that means you need to be every day investing energy into knowing more than everybody else in the room about what you are currently passionate about working with. Whether it's, you know, in a specific niche or just, you know, really trying to attract the top entrepreneurs, regardless of their niche. Does that answer the question?
Yep.
I need to do a lot more.
Again.
Anything else?
Mohit, you got another question? No, he's not on anymore. All right.
Let's end it there. I appreciate it, guys.